I am Peter Sveneby. I'm the managing partner of Syntuity. Welcome to my video blog. Today I wanted to share some ideas on some dynamics that factor in when an individual chooses a person to be their trusted advisor. One of the most gratifying things that we can experience is when our knowledge, our hard work, our expertise is being requested by somebody else, and somebody wants your advice or they want you to share your ideas with them. And as much as we want that to happen, often we get in our own way of letting or allowing that to happen with another person. So I'll give you, when I first started thinking about things in terms of the way that I'm going to present today, it started with a talk that I was attending. The speaker asked a provocative question. He said, if I'm 12 years old and I've got a burning question inside about the topic of sex, who do I ask? Who's my trusted advisor? And we all thought about it. And it's easy to understand that it's definitely not going to be somebody younger than me, right? I'm not going to go to my little brother or my little sister or somebody who's probably got less knowledge than I have to ask them this question, right? That's pretty much self-explanatory. But the part it's more interesting as well, and it's logical with the 12-year-old, is I'm probably not going to ask the adult, the sex expert, somebody who knows a whole lot more to me. When I think about it, who I'm going to ask is somebody that I find to be in my comfort zone. Probably the 13-year-old, right? Or the 12-year-old friend of mine who might have a little more knowledge than I have. And this thought, this idea tied into another concept that I want to introduce to you that we'll call relative seniority. See if I can move this slide. If we watch two people interacting, that over the course of their interactions we will be able to perceive a difference in their relative seniority, where one will come across as the more senior in the interaction and one will come across as the more junior. One will come across much more as the authority, the adult, the other more as the child or the one who's subservient or submissive below the other. And so, looking at different conversations that we could have, we could come across as more junior to our counterpart. We could come across as perhaps a bit patronizing or superior to higher than our counterpart. And we could come across as peers, right? The interesting thing to observe is that when somebody engages a trusted advisor, they're always engaging somebody with whom they have a peer level respect for. Not somebody who they regard as the expert who's far, far in front of them, and not somebody who they would regard as less than. Now, when we consider a client-vendor relationship, often the way we set up that relationship on the front end is where we come in as less than. They are the authority, we are the server, the servant, and we're there to serve their need. However, if their perception of us, and that word perception is important, if their perception of us is that we are less than them, they would never engage us as a trusted advisor, right? And that if we come across as having so much more knowledge than them, being so far ahead of them that we are the preeminent expert in the area of interest, and they are much, much below us, that also causes an issue. And this is counterintuitive, that often we think that if we can prove our knowledge, our credibility, how much we can contribute to the situation, that will build our equity and build the interest in the other person of wanting to engage us. And the truth is it's not so. That if we come across too far ahead, there's something about our counterpart's ego that prevents them from engaging us. That by engaging us, an expert who's so far ahead of them, somehow it diminishes them. They have the fear that they won't be able to interact, maybe a fear of being found out for what they don't know, or some form of vulnerability, or just by the interaction they feel diminished. They feel somewhat degraded, or that their knowledge is irrelevant and therefore not honored. That really, when a person engages us as a trusted advisor, what we're always seeking is to have a somewhat peer level relationship, but to bring value to them in whatever that area of interest might be, right? what would that mean if you're the expert? If you're looking for that engagement with another person, that you would be their trusted advisor. And I think there are three things that are really important. Obviously, you can't be so smart that you eliminate yourself from contention. Three ideas that can help us out. One, be gracious. When you're meeting with a person, when you're developing that relationship, when you're interacting with them, give credit to them for what their contributions are. Listen, engage, compliment, and take interest in what they have to say, what they have to contribute, even if it rehashes something that you may already know, right? Allow them presence and be gracious with them. Number two, ask good questions and listen. Let them answer. Let them think. Let them take the stage. And there's a piece to this. We get caught up sometimes in this belief that if we allow the other person to take the stage and answer all the questions, that somehow diminishes us. Their knowledge doesn't diminish us whatsoever. What it really does is give us a baseline from which we can contribute. We don't need to contribute to them what they already know. But as well, there's a magic to asking a person an intelligent question and allowing them to answer and think through it and provide to you their information. That open door that you present to them reciprocates, right? In that they will then listen to you and ask you questions. It opens the door to allowing a trusted advisor interaction to happen. Last key idea, be humble. Be humble in your delivery. When you present whatever the knowledge is, don't diminish what they've said or contributed. Don't demean it. Don't counter, yes, but, those sorts of things. Be humble. Present what you know. Allow yourself to be flexible to incorporate what they've contributed as well, and allow them to internalize and think about it. And remember, you only have to be contributing to them. You don't have to be a mile ahead of where they are in whatever the topic of interest is. You have to be just a little way in front of them. So that's what I had to present to you today. Would love to hear your thoughts, your contributions. Please leave comments on the blog sites. Write me an email. Would love to have a conversation about it if you'd like to take the conversation that direction. Have a great day.